Hey again, it's Mingzi, and in this video we are going to look at some demographic attributes that were overlooked in the 2018 election but can influence the election results. And we are going to mainly look at the languages in terms of official language that people speak in New Brunswick, and also the urban and rural makeup of New Brunswick. So let's take a look at these maps. Here I have a map showing the dominant official language spoken within the polling district. So here in blue you can see majority of these people speak English. In brown we have people dominantly speaking French, and for green it is a mixture of both, so they are most likely bilingual. And the reason why language is such an important factor in terms of New Brunswick election is because previously in past elections, it's been said that English speaker tends to vote for progressive conservative and French speakers tend to vote for liberals. So you can actually see that if you look at the 2018 election, where the reds up north here, these are the ridings where liberals have won, and also near the east coast of New Brunswick, where liberals have won some votes there. You can see that being reflected on this language map. So a lot of these French speakers, they tend to vote for liberals. Now if you go down to the south area here, majority of the wins are dominated by progressive conservative parties, and if you take a look at the map here, south of New Brunswick tends to be English speakers. So there is a correlation between the languages and also who they vote for, the language that people speak and who they vote for. So that's an interesting map to look at, because the similarity between the results and the language distribution map is just unreal. Now let's take a look at another factor, which is urban versus rural. So here I have a map showing where red areas are classifying urbans and blue area here are classifying rural areas, and the light white color here just represents a mixture of both. Now this map is interesting because this map seems similar to other maps we've seen in the past or in the other videos. For example, if we take a look at the income map, where the darker pink represents a higher income area, you can see that they're all clustered around cities, so near urban areas. So this kind of looks the same map. Now if you look at the age distribution map, where each of these polling districts represents a dominant age group that are living within it, you can see that closer to these city areas, a lot more younger people live there. And that kind of represents this urban cluster being shown here. So knowing the urban and rural area, it is important for elections, because a lot of the political parties, if you look at their platform, they are catered towards a particular, whether it is, funding for rural hospitals or funding in social services within an urban setting. These are all factors that correlates to how people vote based on what type of built up they live in. So these are just two maps that were kind of overlooked earlier in 2018. But plays a strong role in election. So let's summarize what we just went through here. We saw that areas where English was the dominant language spoken tends to vote for the Progressive Conservative Party, and areas where French was the dominant language tends to vote Liberal. And so there was a correlation, an interesting correlation between the language spoken and the election results of 2018. Now we had another map showing urban versus rural areas and how that map correlated to other maps we saw earlier, such as the income level map we had, and also the age dominant map we had. So all these kind of different factors contribute to the voting behavior, because different political party tends to have different types of promises that they make to whether you are living in the rural area or urban areas. So, in the next video, we are going to take a look at some key ridings and identify which ones might be battlegrounds between different parties for the 2020 election coming up. Stay tuned.